I have some questions for MGTOWs about your feelings on makeup. Quite a few, but certainly not all MGTOWs often slam women for wearing makeup as a tool to deceive and trap and manipulate men. I want to dig into the range of MGTOW thoughts on this subject. I'll start by saying I definitely understand your basic premise. Makeup and everything else a woman can do to look attractive or sexy is part of the toolkit she has if she's trying to manipulate a man. I don't think any man with any life experience can honestly say he's never been manipulated by an attractive woman. I guess my first question is, do you think it's fundamentally wrong for a woman to wear makeup to make herself more attractive to men? Or do you only have an issue with it based on her intentions? Do you believe women when they tell you that they don't primarily wear makeup to attract men? Most women will tell you that the primary people who judge their appearance are other women. And while they certainly want to look good for the right guy, wearing makeup most of the time has more to do with social status and feeling good about themselves than trying to attract a man. Do you believe none, some, or all of that? What percentage of women do you think have manipulating men as the primary goal of their appearance? Do you think that there is a significant difference between the percentage of people who are manipulative by gender? Obviously, men and women tend to manipulate people in different ways, but I'm curious what you think the percentages are. What are your thoughts on women using perfume, clothes, and their hair to be more attractive? Do you have similar feelings as to makeup, or are those different to you? Do you notice when women put less effort into their appearance and judge them more positively for it? Or do you expect women to put in effort to look as good as they can? Where do you draw the line between looking good and being fake? Do you feel differently about a 50-year-old woman trying to look more attractive as opposed to a young woman? When you were younger, did you notice that your mother cared more about her appearance than your father? If so, what are your thoughts on this? Assuming you see this as a solvable problem, what is your solution? You'll never convince just some women to stop wearing makeup because they would just be putting themselves at a disadvantage both romantically and socially, along with feeling less confident. If you somehow stopped every woman at once, the world would be exactly the same, just less beautiful. If no one is wearing makeup, a manipulative woman is still going to be manipulative. So what exactly do you want? I know most of you see yourselves as ideally monogamous, and in a world with more just laws, you would probably like to be married. I'd like you to answer these next questions in the context of whatever situation you could see yourself married in. Would you prefer to marry a less attractive woman than you could, or one who doesn't put much effort into her appearance? Do you accept the idea that love blinds you, that couples in healthy relationships find their partners more attractive than other people do, or even than they did initially? Would you want your wife to wear makeup to look attractive for you? What do you think about the idea of your wife using makeup as a tool to look different for you? Men desire variety. Do you think catering to that is a good or a bad thing, and why? What about her using makeup to look younger, especially as you both age? Would you be okay with your wife wearing makeup to work? What about just going out in general, or when you're having company? Do you understand that she might feel insecure about her looks? That she would want to look good to her friends? Would you be concerned by her wanting to look good, worrying if she might be trying to attract another man? What do you feel is the ideal level of insecurity for your wife to have about her appearance? I'd really love to hear your answers to these questions, and anything else you think could bring insight into your feelings on the subject. I suspect that the differences between mainstream and MGTOW feelings about makeup are largely due to a lack of belief or understanding of just how insecure women often are about their appearance, combined with a not entirely irrational fear of the consequences of being entrapped by a genuinely manipulative woman. I've been trying to avoid making any explicit arguments, but I'd like to leave you with one and get your thoughts on it. As men, even absent the presence of women, we use other men as a yardstick to judge ourselves by the measures women find attractive, like fitness, competence, intelligence, and confidence. We don't do this because we're actively trying to be attractive. That competitiveness is just genetically wired into us. Similarly, because men find women attractive in large part based on their appearance, even absent the presence of men, women tend to be concerned with how they measure up to other women looks-wise. This is amplified by the fact that women are wired to be much more insecure about their attractiveness than men. In fact, women are dramatically less confident than men about nearly everything. If you think back prior to the ease of modern life, it's easy to understand that losing one's partner would be a much greater problem for a woman than a man. On average, a woman is both more concerned with her attractiveness than a man, and achieves it through looks more than he does. That's why women focus so much on looking good. It's at least as compulsive as your desire to get better at whatever your current goal is. I don't expect that to change your views on the subject, but I hope it gives you a little insight into the other side of things. So here's my advice. When you notice that a woman has put a lot of effort into her appearance, be realistic. There's a 99% chance you're not the man she's trying to look good for. Just appreciate the fact that your day was made a little brighter and go on with it.